I am this close to buying every single book that Kazuo Ishiguro has ever published in the gorgeous Faber editions that match my current read, Clara and the Sun. I am reading some amazing books, and I don't know why. I think because I'm reading so many amazing books, I am in this huge reading mood, and I really want to buy so many books, and I am just so excited, so I wanted to talk to you guys about it and film this vlog. Kazuo Ishiguro, first of all, is just taking my breath away with Clara and the Sun. I read and adored Never Let Me Go this year. Never Let Me Go is my favorite book of 2022 so far. It is an all-time favorite. I adore everything about it, and I also have The Remains of the Day on my shelves, but I've heard so many amazing things about The Remains of the Day that I want to save that one for a little while. So I picked up Clara and the Sun when I was in Canada with Emma because they had this gorgeous edition. This is from Vintage Canada, but the original publisher is Faber & Faber for the UK. The US editions are nice, but I don't love them. I really love this design of the different colors with the boxes on the covers, and they have, Faber & Faber did a whole line of a reprinting of all of Kazuo Ishiguro's books, all in different colors, and together they look amazing. I have them on my computer right now, and I am just this close to buying all of them. 122 pages into Clara and the Sun. I also just recently posted about it on my Instagram because I just need to tell everyone how much I'm loving this book, so that's why I am also filming this video and talking to you guys about it. Kazuo Ishiguro is just a genius. I will say it until I'm blue in the face. I love everything that he writes. His stories are so unique. They're all so different, but you can tell that the great mind behind them is the same, and it's just mind-blowing what he does with narratives and plots and emotion and his characters. Just the way that he tells a story is unbelievable, and I love him. I love his writing. I want to read absolutely everything that he's ever written, so I have all of these in front of me, and I think I might order them. Okay, we have The Buried Giant, which I have read a few years ago, and I remember liking it, but I remember I didn't love it, so I would like to reread that to see if my opinion would change. So The Buried Giant, then The Unconsoled, then When We Were Orphans, then An Artist of the Floating Worlds, A Pale View of Hills, The Remains of the Day, this beautiful edition of Never Let Me Go with the cassette tape. Oh my god, I love that design so much. And Nocturnes. And then there's also this, I have an edition of it, Faber Stories of Sally Rooney's short story Mr. Salary, which I really like, and they have one from Kazuo Ishiguro, his short story Come Rain or Come Shine. And then I have other books here from the Vintage Classics Japanese series because they're first of all gorgeous, second of all I really want to get more into Japanese literature, in particular because I'm loving Kazuo Ishiguro and I want to read many more Japanese writers, but also I have heard for years now, especially from my best friend Emma, she loves Haruki Murakami and she's never read Ishiguro before, I think, so I feel like I want her to read Never Let Me Go, and I really want to read Murakami. I have Norwegian Wood on my shelves, but the Vintage Classics Japanese series also has The Wind-Up Bird Chronicle in this gorgeous edition, and then they also have The Sailor Who Fell from Grace with the Sea by Yoko Mishima, and I think that Emma just read that one for our 24-hour readathon, or that might have been a different one. Not the readathon that we did in person, but the one before that. And then we also have The Housekeeper and the Professor by Yoko Ogawa, and I have heard amazing things about that book, and it sounds like something that I would really love. So these are all the books that are in my cart right now. Anyway, so adoring Clara and the Sun. I want to buy everything by Ishiguro. I also want to get more into Japanese literature, and then that leads me into telling you about the audiobook that I am listening to, which is Breasts and Eggs by Miko Kawakami, or Meiko Kawakami. I am really enjoying this book. I have heard a lot about her, and I've seen breast and eggs all over Instagram, and so I was really interested in her work and also reading that book in particular. So I found it on Libby and I started listening to it. My family and I just went on a short vacation out east on Long Island to the Hamptons in Montauk, and so we were there for a few days, and that's where I started Clara and the Sun, and that's also when I started listening to Breast and Eggs on audiobook, and I am really enjoying it. It says, challenging every preconception about storytelling and prose style, mixing wry humor and riveting emotional depth, Kawakami is today one of Japan's most important and best-selling writers. Breasts and Eggs paints a portrait of contemporary womanhood in Japan and recounts the intimate journeys of three women as they confront oppressive mores and their own uncertainties on the road to finding peace and futures they can truly call their own. It's just a beautiful portrayal of a woman's journey, especially, obviously it's taking place in Japan and it's following these Japanese women, so I love the culture. It's quite heartbreaking. Especially the part that I'm at right now. I'm almost done with it. I have about 2 hours left of the audiobook, but I'm loving it, and so now I'm really in the mood for more Japanese literature. So if you love Japanese literature or Asian literature in general, or any literature from any culture, from any country, I would really love any recommendations you may have. And whether it's contemporary or classics, I have been adding so many on my Goodreads, and a lot of you guys were commenting on my Goodreads that I'm adding so many of your favorite books, which I'm so excited about, because knowing that you love these books makes me even more excited to read them. And I might buy these books, and then you may see them in a book haul soon. Update, I just bought 12 books and I have 0 regrets. Hello everyone, it is Tuesday, September 27th, and that means that it is the release day of The Winners by Fredrik Backman, which is the 3rd book in the Beartown series. If you guys have been here for any length of time, you know that Beartown is one of my favorite, if not my favorite, contemporary book. That's changing though, because I'm reading some amazing contemporary books, so we'll see if that stands. I do love Beartown so much, it's one of my favorites. So we have the first book, Beartown, and then the second book, Us Against You, and then the third book, The Winners, which I have yet to read, but I'm going to start it today. I'm going to go to the bookstore now and get it. I'm so excited. And so Beartown follows this really small community in Sweden. It's by the Swedish author Fredrik Backman and translated into English. And so we are following this really small hockey town, which it's struggling economically, and all of the town knows each other really well. It's really small, really close-knit, but not in the way that everyone gets along. And in the first book, there is a lot of turmoil because of something that happens between the star hockey player and the general manager's family, and it causes a big rift in the community. And then the second book is about how the community can continue on, how they recover from that, and I guess how that one thing that happens in the first book affects everyone else as time goes on. And then The Winners, I'm not really sure what it's going to be about. I don't know how long it is. I don't know where Fredrik Backman is really taking the story, but I am so excited to find out. I am a bit emotional about the fact that I'm going to finish it, because it's one of those stories that I never want to not have more. I have read almost everything by Fredrik Backman, except for one book, because I never want to not have an unread Fredrik Backman book on my shelves. And so anyway, now I am going to go to the bookstore and I'm going to get it, and I'm so excited. I got a gift card recently from a family member, so I am going to treat myself to The Winners with that gift card, and I can't wait. So if you are interested in Beartown, I cannot recommend it enough, especially now that the whole series is out. It also has an amazing mini-series that recently came out, and I loved it. I thought it was an amazing adaptation. It's quite hard-hitting, so I would definitely look into the trigger warnings just in case it talks about topics that you might want to steer clear of. And then the other reading update that I have is for Clara and the Sun. I am about halfway through Clara and the Sun, and I am just continuing to adore it. The way that Ishiguro is developing the story is so interesting. He is a master at giving us a little bit at a time without giving us the whole picture. He tells us a little without telling us everything, and then that makes us want to know even more. And he does the same thing in Never Let Me Go. I love that in Never Let Me Go, and I'm loving this so much. We are following Clara, and then also her companion or her owner, Josie, and then my favorite character is Josie's best friend, Rick or Ricky. And the more that I'm reading about Rick and his story, the more that I adore him. Josie, my opinion about her is constantly changing, and I think that that's really interesting because it makes her a very complex character, as well as my opinions about Clara I feel like are a bit the same, which I think is intentional because of her emotional capacity, or at least her capacity to feel emotion and how she expresses herself and her personality. But Rick, we're learning more about him and his family and his mother, and also I got to this certain part without saying too much where I am just kind of like, what is going on there? We don't know everything, and I want to know. So yes, loving this so much. I love Ishiguro, and I am so excited to get my full collection of his books and the new Faber editions. I'm so glad that I ordered those. And then I did finish reading Breasts and Eggs by Meiko Kawakami, and I loved it. I was not expecting to love it as much as I did after seeing it all over social media. I always am wary about hyped books, especially contemporary books, because I don't know how I'm gonna feel. Will I agree? Will I disagree with what everybody is saying? And basically Breasts and Eggs is following these women, especially our main character Natsu, and how these women in contemporary Japan, how they deal with womanhood and them going through womanhood and being there for one another, but also trying to just figure out what's right for them in their relationships, their family relationships, their relationships with other women that they know, their friends, and their bodies, and I guess beauty standards, and just so many things that are a part of womanhood that are really hard to deal with, and they're just aspects of general society. And so the way that it is discussed, I think, is so beautiful and poignant but hopeful. And at the end of the story, we follow Natsu for not really such a long time, but I felt like by the end of the story, I really had a friend in her, and the whole book felt like you were just sitting down and having a conversation with her, and you were just another one of her friends. And I am so excited to keep reading more Asian literature, more Japanese literature, and I'm really excited to read more of Meiko Kawakami's books. I have heard amazing things about her other novel, Heaven, so I'm going to go to the bookstore right now. I'm going to not only get the winners, but I might look around to see what else is there, if anything has caught my eye. Yeah, so I'm going to go get the winners, and I'm going to start it, and I don't know how I'm going to feel about it. I'm so excited, but I'm also still reading A Game of Thrones, but I think what I'm doing with A Game of Thrones is I'm just taking my time with it. And what I really like that I've been doing lately is reading multiple books in a lot of different genres. So I have Game of Thrones for fantasy, I have Clara and the Sun for literary fiction, Breasts and Eggs was also, I guess, contemporary literary fiction, same thing with Clara and the Sun, and then I'm going to move on to Beartown now, and I am listening to Martin Chuzzlewit by Charles Dickens for the book club, but that's going, I don't know, it's going. So anyway, I'm gonna go to the bookstore, and I'm gonna get the final book in the Beartown series. Oh my god. Oh. I'm back. I did it. It's here. It's here. I have it in my hands. Oh my goodness. It is so much thicker than I was expecting. I mean, I was hoping that it was going to be really long because Frederick Bachman has taken quite a while to write it, so I figured that that might mean that it would be a bit lengthy, and it is. It's here. It's here. It's here. It's here. I can't believe it. I'm so nervous to start it. Oh my gosh. Okay. I don't want to read anything. I just want to start the book. I don't want to read the flap. I don't want to do anything. So yes, I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. Should I read the first line? I'm freaking out. It was right there. It was right in the front of the store, and I'm so excited. Oh, my favorite character. Oh my god. My favorite character. Okay, I don't think it's going to give anything away, so I'm just going to read it aloud, and if it gives anything away, I won't put it in the video. Okay, how about that? Chapter 1, Stories. Everyone who knew Benjamin Ovich, my favorite character, particularly those of us who knew him well enough to call him Benji, probably knew deep down that he was never the sort of person who would get a happy ending. Oh my god. Oh my god, I can't believe that this is here. I'm kind of in denial. I feel like, I don't know, it's here. It's here. It's here. Oh my god. I'm looking at my Frederick Bachman shelf. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So yes, I'm going to start this. I want to get a bit of work done, and then this is my reward for getting work done. So I also picked up another book. As you guys saw, I filmed a bunch of like quick clips of a bunch of different books because I've had my eye on a bunch of different books, obviously. I only picked up one other book, and that is Cold Enough for Snow by Jessica A.U. I don't know how to pronounce her last name. Jessica U. I apologize. I should Google that. Cold Enough for Snow, I have seen on a few of the... Oh, the lighting is going funny. I have seen Cold Enough for Snow on a couple of the Instagram pages that I follow. Lately, I've been getting a lot of my book recommendations from Bookstagram, and I have been binge watching Christy Ann Jones's videos on YouTube. I love her channel. I've seen her on YouTube for years now, but I never really got into watching her videos. I don't know why, but then I started to because she talks a lot about Japanese literature because she lived in Japan for a little while. Her videos are gorgeous. They're so beautiful and cinematic. She is just such a wonderful person. Anyway, so I have gotten a lot of my recommendations from Bookstagram lately, and I have seen Cold Enough for Snow on a couple of the Bookstagram accounts that I follow. So on the back it says, Cold Enough for Snow is an elegant and subtle exploration of the mysteries of our relationships to others. A mother and daughter travel from abroad to Tokyo. They walk along the canals through the autumn evenings, escape, also autumn, I feel like that would be perfect for this time of year, escape the typhoon rains, share meals in small cafes and restaurants, and visit galleries to see some of the city's contemporary art. All the while they talk about the weather, horoscopes, clothes, and objects, about family, distance, and memory, but uncertainties abound. Who is really speaking? And what is the real reason for this elliptical, perhaps even spectral journey? At once a careful reckoning and an elegy, Cold Enough for Snow questions whether any of us speak a common language, which dimensions can contain love, and what claim we truly have to know another's inner world. So it sounds really interesting. This cover is also beautiful. I read the first page and it was gorgeous. The first page starts, When we left the hotel, it was raining, a light, fine rain, as can sometimes happen in Tokyo in October. I said that where we were going was not far. We would only need to get to the station, the same one that we had arrived at yesterday, and then catch 2 trains and walk a little down some small streets until we got to the museum. I got out my umbrella and opened it and pulled up the zipper of my coat. It was early morning and the street was filled with people, most walking away from the station rather than towards it as we were. All the while my mother stayed close to me, as if she felt that the flow of the crowd was a current, and if we were separated, we would not be able to make our way back to each other, but continue to drift further and further apart, which I just love that part. The rain was gentle and consistent. It left a fine layer of water on the ground, which was not asphalt, but a series of small square tiles, if you cared enough to notice. Sorry if you guys moved, my card got full, so I had to delete some old footage that I didn't need anymore. Should I read it in October because that's when it starts, or should I read it? Well, it's going to be October in a few days, so, and it's only 95 pages, so I think this is going to be a nice quick read. And anyway, so yes, I got the winners and I got Cold Enough for Snow. I am really dumb. I'm really dumb because I told you guys that I had a gift card, and so I was planning on using the gift card for these books. And I used to work at that bookstore that I went to, and I saw a few of my old coworkers, and so we were chatting, and then one of them was checking out my books, and so she was ringing up my books, and I forgot to give her my gift card because I was just not paying attention to what I was doing, and I just naturally put my regular card in. And then I'm in my car driving home, and I'm thinking to myself, you didn't use the gift card. So I think there were a bunch of other books that I really wanted to get that I was looking into. Anyway, so I'm going to get some work done, and after I work, I think I'm going to start The Winners by Frederick Bachman. So excited. So anyway, that's my little update. Yeah. Also, I almost forgot to tell you, I started working and then I thought about it. I was going to pick up Heaven by Meiko Kawakami, but they had the US edition, obviously, because it's a US bookstore. But I was thinking about it. I had it in my hands for maybe 10 minutes. I was honestly just like Googling the different book covers, trying to figure out if I liked the US or the UK covers better. And I think I like the UK covers better, so I didn't pick it up, although I read the first page of Heaven, and it sounds amazing, and I really want to read it, so I don't know what to do. I just ordered those other books from Book Depository because I wanted the UK covers of Murakami and the Vintage Classics Japanese series, so I might be ordering more books. I don't know. I don't know what's with me lately. All I want to do is buy books. For a while, I was pretty good of not buying new books and trying to just read my own books, but yeah, with all of these new books I'm so excited about, and I don't know, I want to buy I want to buy special editions of books that I just prefer the covers of, because I don't know, I like to collect. I like to have like beautiful editions. I'm weird like that. I don't know if you guys are like that, but yeah, so I think I might get the UK covers. I just wanted to let you guys know about that. So now I'm going to continue my work. Hello everyone. So I have been working a lot today. I haven't started Beartown yet. Beartown, oh my gosh, The Winners. I have not started The Winners yet. I have been working on editing my last vlog for my Toronto trip that I took when I went to see Emma. I'm working on my last vlog and it is so depressing. It's so depressing. Vlogs always take me a ton of time to edit and to work on, so that's been most of today. And then I made dinner and I took a really long walk with my mom, which was really nice. And I've just sort of been, you know, I talked to my sister a little bit. She always calls me when she drives home from work. So we had a nice chat, and then just doing random stuff here and there, mainly editing because I want to get this video up by this Friday. I think I might stop pretty soon and just start reading The Winners because I was supposed to stop editing a while ago. It's 10:19 p.m. I've been like editing this video most of the day, but that's usually how editing goes. I drank tea out of my huge mug. I have been obsessed with this tea from Harney & Sons. It is the hot cinnamon spice. I am obsessed with it. I got a 50-pack. I ordered a 50-pack online because it's like my favorite tea ever right now. Okay, stop rambling about random things that you guys probably don't care about. So I'm gonna go read. I'm gonna stop working, finally. I'm still working. Okay, it is officially time to read in bed. I promise. I'm gonna turn my fairy lights off and I'm going to actually stop working. So we're getting Grabbing the book. I'm gonna bring my candle into my bedroom. We're gonna have a great time. Willow is snoring. There she goes. Willow is snoring. I just read the first page of The Winners, and I am not okay with this. I'm not okay with that. Frederick, you cannot do this to us. Hello everyone, a few days have gone by. It is now October 3rd, it is a Monday, and I thought that maybe to include in this random vlog my September reading wrap-up, I thought that that would be a good idea. First book that I finished in September was actually Where Angels Fear to Tread, and this was for my 24-hour readathon with Emma when I was in Canada. This is the only book that I finished during the 24-hour readathon because I started reading this other book. If you watched that video, you know what it is. But anyway, Where Angels Fear to Tread, I really liked it. E.M. Forster's one of my favorite writers, one of my favorite classic writers. And so in terms of, if I compare it to his other books, it's probably my least favorite of his own books. But by itself, I really, really enjoyed it. I want to give it like a 3.54. In general, but compared to his other books, it's more like a 3. So I'm not really sure how to rate this or even how to recommend it. I got this at Sellers, which is the secondhand bookshop that we went to in Canada. I will link all of these videos so that you guys can check them out if you missed them. But yeah, so that is Where Angels Fear to Tread. And then the other books that I read in September was Beartown, which is the first book in the series, and then I read Us Against You, which is the second book in the series. So it goes like this: Beartown, Us Against You, and then The Winners. I am currently reading The Winners. I'm only a few chapters in. You guys know it's been part of this vlog. I am loving it so much. I haven't been reading too much of it actually since getting it, which is kind of ridiculous because I've waited so long for this book and I haven't been picking it up, so I need to. I've just been a bit busy the past few days. I loved my rereads. I thought that they were amazing. I don't have much of an update for Game of Thrones. I am 237 pages into it. I'm loving it so much. I am on season 4 of the show because I've been watching the show more than reading the book, because watching the show when I am done with work in the evenings is like my reward for getting work done, because then I can just relax and pay attention to the show and not do anything, and that is like one of the best parts of my day, is when I can just sit down and do nothing and watch Game of Thrones. So I'm loving the book. I need to keep reading it. Emma is way more ahead of me now because she and I obviously started reading it together for the 24-hour readathon. And then you guys also saw that I did start Clara and the Sun. I still need to keep picking this one up. I'm about halfway through, adoring it, but I am now in the middle of Game of Thrones, The Winners, Clara and the Sun, and I'm listening to The Unbearable Lightness of Being, which is an audiobook, but I'm in the middle of that one as well, and I'm really enjoying that one too. I'm just in the middle of so many books, and I like having different books in different genres to like go in and out of, but part of me is kind of a little overwhelmed by all the books that I am currently reading. Then we have a DNF. I feel so bad about this because it is Martin Chuzzlewit by Charles Dickens. This is our first DNF of the book club for Dickens and Tolstoy. We just are not enjoying this book at all, and it is so long, and we are, I think, 200 or 300 pages in. I honestly don't even remember because reading this book has been like a fever dream. Like, what have I even read? Did I even read it? I have no clue what this book is about. I I don't want to read it, to be completely honest. And I think that that's interesting. It'll make an interesting discussion for the debate. And I think we're also going to push the debate because Emma is going on vacation in a few days, actually. And so I said to make it easier for her that we can combine the Dickens and Tolstoy for next month together and just have one debate for Martin Chuzzlewit and then the next month's Tolstoy picks, which I'm not even sure what the next Tolstoy picks are. We were listening to it together in Canada and we were both sitting there listening to it on and off, like, what is even happening? What even is the plot? Like, what is Charles Dickens? What is this book? Like, I know that there are a few people that like it, and there are a few of you that said that you hoped that we would enjoy it, and I hoped that I would enjoy it too. I just did not. I just am not enjoying it. So I said to Emma that even though we're hosts of the book club and we really should finish our own book club books, it's kind of unfair to bind us in this book contract. You know, this fake contract. Like, we should have the option to DNF the books if we're really not enjoying it. And I think that that would make interesting discussions. So anyway, that's what we're doing. That is what has happened. So these are all of the books. So I did also listen to Breasts and Eggs, which I talked to you guys about in this vlog, and I really, really loved it, and now I really want to read more of her work. And then I also listened to Convenience Store Woman by Sayaka Murata. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing her name correctly, but I really enjoyed Convenience Store Woman. It's very short. It was only a few hours, the audiobook, and I liked the narrator's voice, so I would recommend listening to the audiobook because it was a nice audiobook. But it's basically about this woman who's in her early 30s, how she came to, I guess, have the personality that she has, and she is a convenience store worker, and how she doesn't really want any more for her life. She's very content with where she is at the convenience store. You would imagine that she wants more for herself, but she is quite content and really happy in her position and her job at the convenience store. And so it's a very interesting book just in that essence of being content in a place where maybe society tells you that you shouldn't be content or you should be somewhere else, or her relationship with relationships in general, like marriage and children, and I guess how people perceive her and her personality, because she is, I forgot how she describes herself, but she always talks about how, like, she wasn't like other people, and she reacted to things in different ways even when she was a child. And so I found that that was a really interesting concept, and I did enjoy it. I think I gave it about 3 stars. It wasn't anything that blew me away, but I did really enjoy it. So yes, I think those are all the books. I believe those are all the books that I read in September. I hope you guys liked this vlog and that you guys also read some amazing books in September. I would love to know what books you read, what you're excited to read in October. October is my birthday month, so it's weird because I'm having like a weird relationship with my birthday recently. Like, I'm excited, but I'm not that excited. I think that's just being in your like early to mid 20s. But anyway, so I'm excited for what books I'm going to read in October. I filmed it just now, my autumnal TBR, so very happy and excited to think about all the books that I'm going to be reading in October. So I would love to know what books you're reading in October. That was my whole point. Anyway, so I hope you're having a fantastic day, reading some amazing books, and I will see you soon in another video. Happy reading!